can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. This that splash, this that drill. Yeah, yeah, champion, huh? Yeah, we here. I heard the flare gun, I'm ready to race. No, I don't fear nothing, I'm stuck in my ways. They say I'm the chosen one, to see it in my face. Get this one and I'm holding on, I can't be replaced. I just take a sip, but it's split. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again, celebrate the win again. Take a sip, but it's split. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again, celebrate the win again. Yeah, the sun can't touch me, got a brand new visor, yeah. Your friend's smart, but my bud's wiser, yeah. Get the job done like the equalizer. And I'ma grab another drink, cause tonight I'ma die like Michael Phelps. Hey, diving in this pool, I don't know what we have. Hey, I'm just telling you the truth. I heard the flare gun, I'm ready to race. No, I don't fear nothing, I'm stuck in my ways. They say I'm the chosen one, to see it in my face. Get this one and I'm holding on, I can't be replaced. I just take a sip, but it's split. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again, celebrate the win again. Take a sip, but it's split. We on track for the win. Celebrate the win again, celebrate the win again. Getting triumphant, let's bump it. Don't mind me seizing the moment. Energy up, my body burning, and my stomach keep on turning. Stop moving, I can't control it. On my last breath and I can't hold it. You gotta give it all I got. This for the ones that think I'm joking. This for real, for real. Lightweight bust off half a. Yeah, I'm sweating, babe. Must be all them happy meals. I don't know how happy feels, but damn, I'm trying to find. Just say I got sex appeal. I think it's cause I work a fire gun. I'm ready to race. No, I don't fear.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bradley Kenyon to kick off for Tampa Bay.
Two teams that came into the NFL together back in 1976. The Seahawks and Bucs are underway. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a give, right side. It's Carson, and he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
He was
calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 5.
45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. There. 36 power. Go. Check. Rush in. Run left.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks.
At the 42-yard line.
On first down, Wilson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Brady. Escaping the pressure right. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And now look at him go. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 91 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, you usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
Tampa Bay.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards.
At the 46-yard line.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. This is caught inside the 15. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 54 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So all even it's to kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Comes on the return. The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 2nd and 7. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He's brought down at the
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw with Brady. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. These 2 teams all tied after 1.
with the score tied 7-7.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Jones. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
A 4-yard gain.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brought down back at the 6-yard line.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in, announcing a firing. There's no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is...
Jones hit and the ball's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Hey, 0, 0, 0. Here we go. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Switch.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Well, CD, taking a step back, we're 2 weeks into the season, and you already kind of get the sense that teams are beginning to separate themselves. If you look at the 2-0 teams, and remember, 62% of 2-0 teams ultimately make the playoffs. But Baltimore, Kansas City, Green Bay, Seattle, just to name a few, they look really good.
They certainly do, and in a lot of ways, those are the teams that we expected to be 2-0 at this part of the season. I mean, it's no major surprise.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Brady. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Partner, I don't care how long he plays. Anytime there's a fumble involving Tom Brady.
You think the Raiders are involved?
You think the Raiders are involved, you think it's snowing, and immediately you hear the words, Tuck rule. And now the Tuck rule doesn't exist anymore, but that always comes back up with Tom Brady, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, even here, even now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. Open is Olsen. He's got it. Touchdown Seahawks. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Jason.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Oh, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there. And this will stay a 6-point ball game.
To kick off for Seattle.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. The tackle there by Quandre.
Quandre Diggs on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
A 28-yard.
That's good for 28 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, let's go back to the start of the season talk, Charles. We talked about some 2-0 and 0-2 teams. You mentioned Arizona, maybe a good surprise. Houston, a bad surprise. Any other teams a surprise at this point to you?
Well, I think that I would look at the Los Angeles Rams right out of the gate. At home against Dallas, opening their new stadium. Many thought Dallas would go out west and beat them. That didn't happen. Then how about the Rams going on the road this week and beating Philadelphia and decisively? This looks like a Rams team that finished 9-7 last year. It has designs on challenging for the division title. And one other team I would throw in there is a little bit of a surprise. just by how it's gone down, how about Atlanta? I know it's tough against Seattle, tough against Dallas. Seattle was at home, but they got jumped on by Seattle. And in the Dallas game, they just gave away. That's a team that should be at worst 1-1 right now. Now looking at 0-2 and have a lot of questions.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Another Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 14.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there. One flip. Watch the run. Alert. Check safety. Mike's 54.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
56. Right there. 56. Watch the run. 56. 50.
Shotgun now for Brady. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Don Mickens on the return. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down.
That's caught inside the 20. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Suckup will put this one right through. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the difference is 6 points as we get set to resume action here in this third quarter of play. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Second down and 12 at the 19-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
On the carry.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Receiver Godwin. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll go with a big bank for it. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
First down, Buccaneers.
On first down, Brady. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Benson Mayowa, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That's good.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Here's Wilson to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Third and long. It's Wilson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
45, 45, Mike, 45. Drop deep, drop deep. Hey, check Mike, 45.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, Charles, glancing back to week 2 of the NFL, certainly there were a lot of great games. Unfortunately, though, it was a tough day for injuries across the league, and the team probably hit the hardest, the 49ers, losing Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas for the season. They also had Jimmy Garoppolo, Raheem Mostert also leaving that game, but they were certainly not the only team affected.
And remember, they were already missing George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, right? Those guys didn't even play in that ball game. So this is a team. Oh, Richard Sherman, of course, is on IR. They've really struggled in the early going. How about the Giants? Losing the face of their team. And Saquon Barkley looks like an ACL gone for the season. And Cortland Sutton also done for the season with an ACL with the Denver Broncos. Tough sledding right now. Remember, Drew Lock, the quarterback, also hurt his shoulder in the last ball game.
And then Christian McCaffrey, they're saying likely at least a month for him of being out with that high ankle sprain. I guess maybe, CD, this is a good year to have just that 3-week IR rather than the longer spell.
It certainly is, and when you can have guys who can return faster for you, and you know that really helps the team out in a big way. Unfortunately for the Colts, former first-round pick and safety, starting safety for them, Malik Hooker, the IR won't apply. He's gone for the season with a torn Achilles.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. On the ground with a tight end. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth-quarter deficit. And this series could very well determine our outcome. A first-down run there by Fournette as he'll get this forward for a gain of about 3. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
56 for Mike, boy. 56. Shot 56. Crank it, reload.
From the 35 on second down, Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Gronkowski, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Brady now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Brought down back at his own 9-yard line.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson, room past the 20. And this a quick slant to Lockett. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. You hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Right there, 54,
They run for it with Carson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
10 at the 25-yard line.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Under 10, 10. Alert, alert, alert.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Here we go.
The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. He's got Lockett. Tyler Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Popular down near the goal line, quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell that offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 31, Brady. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Intercepted.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Switch gears. Run left.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It was JPP that time, Jason Pierre-Paul, who got in there to blow that play up. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and 14.
Sometimes I need a check. Not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step.
I'm here all day. Hey, 0. Check 45 is the mark. 36 power. 45 is the mark.
From the gun, Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. 8 yards on the pick.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Leonard Fournette. Quinton Dunbar on the tackle.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. So the victory here for Seattle. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks.